Hi, I'm Rabbi Daniel Lappin, answering your questions here at Ask the Rabbi. Here's a terrific one from Fernando. Help! My wife questions everything I say. It's driving me nuts. Every opinion I express makes her ask, why do you say that? What do I do? Fernando, I feel for you because I am blessed with exactly the same kind of wife. And why do I say blessed? Because there's no one else in the whole world who has your interests at heart as does your wife. But that means that sometimes she has to work to not always agree with you, right? It doesn't help to only have people around you who think you're fantastic. By the way, that's one of the curses of politicians. They start believing the sycophants around them. Politicians are constantly surrounded with people who just tell them how great they are. And the foolish politicians believe it. As husbands, we are blessed because we have wives. And that's why when God says, I will make him a helpmate opposite him, in Hebrew it actually says, kenegdo. That means opposite, meaning sometimes she will oppose you, like somebody opposite you. Nobody else will know. And by the way, I take it as a given, Fernando, that when your wife questions you and probes and things, that's never in front of other people. I presume that's always in private. And if it isn't, please have her watch this show. It must be in private. A wife may never undermine a husband in public, just as a husband would never undermine a wife in public. But in private, I love it when my wife says, why did you say that on television the other day? You didn't discuss that with me, and so where did you get that from? This is very important. And more so than that even, I want to point out that in Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 7, when it says, and you shall learn these with your children, that Hebrew word for learning wisdom or studying wisdom or teaching wisdom is the same as the Hebrew word for the number 2. That's right. 2, you know why? Because to gain wisdom can only come when there are 2 people together. If somebody ever says to me, I locked myself away for a year, I didn't see a single human being in order to become wise, I only have to say to myself, he really became a fool. You cannot become wise by yourself. It takes 2 people. By the way, that's also the Hebrew word for tooth. Have you noticed even in English, 2 and tooth sound similar? You know why? Because one pair of teeth is worse than none. If you have none, you eat with your gums. If you have only one set of teeth, you can't eat at all. You'll bite yourself. And so 2, tooth, wisdom, knowledge, learning, all tied together. Maybe that's why we have something called a wisdom tooth, right? Do you think that could be possible? You never know, maybe. But certainly the idea is that learning things can only come about with a pair, a minimum of 2 people, somebody else to question and challenge, and that's how you grow. So Fernando, I want you to go down on your knees next to your bed before you go to bed tonight and say a prayer of gratitude to the Lord for giving you your wife. The fact that she probes and presses and questions is what makes you the wise man that you are. May the Lord bless you all with good health and prosperity. The rest is all up to you.